So this year, this is like the first time I've actually started to actually been skiing, and after I got up a couple times and felt comfortable, I started to go in and out of the wake. So I thought that was pretty fun, and then hitting the bumps outside of the wake is really fun.
All right, I really loved the ping pong tournament last night. It was fantastic. It brought me back to when I was a kid, some of their ages, and my mom used to beat us in ping pong, Nerf ping pong, and she had the same laugh last night as she did when I was 10 years old and I couldn't beat her. And it was just great. It was fun to watch family and friends get together and have a competitive event. It was great.
Well, you know, William had this great idea. Well, yesterday Trent had the idea to do extreme kayaking. So we took that to a better level because he didn't know how to do it. So the pros, William and I, went in and really showed him how to do it. So now it's the new 2015 Olympic sports, extreme kayaking 2.0, and so it's great. But today we had some ups and downs. The straps broke twice. That was good, really good. But I mean, new Olympic sport, thanks to me. I mean, William didn't have anything to do with it, or Trent, nothing, all me. Thanks. I know.
The most interesting thing was that Jennifer Corville, when I said to her, "This is quite a crowd," she said, "Doug, yes, it's quite a crowd." And it all came out for view by Doug and Linda having those kids, and those kids have kids, and it's been a very interesting experience to look at these beautiful people and know that it was a starting point. It was Doug and Linda for this particular group.
Okay. Probably the coolest thing that happened this week is me getting up on water skis. That was a really cool feeling to finally get up on them, and and then going out of the wakes and doing out stuff, and then tubing with you was fantastic as well. Getting thrown off was so much fun and everything.
I really had fun at the Rock, and because when all the Yellow Jackets were attacking us three, which was Samantha and Blake and I got out of there and jumped off, and then Blake was still up there with Samantha getting attacked. That was just great. To top it all off, there was a wasp that came onto the boat, and I'm deathly afraid of wasps. So what I did was, we were all like, ah! So what I did, I got up the ladder and I jumped and just laid on the ground under William before we just got out of there.
One of the most memorable moments at the lake this week has been, well, there's so many of them. The kids getting up on the skis was probably the best. The old folks getting up on the skis were the funniest. There's been so many. The food has been outrageously good. The wine and other drinks have been outrageously good. The ping pong tournament was ridiculous, especially the way I played. But Keith winning was a surprise to everyone. There actually were some great moments that they were playing.
Well, sleeping comes to mind, but funniest is when Grace was on the rock and she freaked when she freaked out because of the bee and it was running around. That was funny.
Fishing here, fish are great. They're everywhere. We catch none. We catch nothing. So that's my greatest memory of the week so far. No fish.
I think the most memorable moment this week for me was just talking to Papa Doug and hearing some of his stories and finding out that he was a part of the CIA. I thought that was really cool. I had always suspected that he had, some top secret information, so that was cool to find out. I loved talking to him.
I would say my most memorable moment would have to be out on the lake with all of the kids and watching them progress, skiing, boarding, tubing. I think the expressions that you see on their faces, especially, you know, when they get up the first time on the skis, or when they go, oh, we don't want to get scared on the tube, and they get thrown out to the side and enjoy it. It really is terrific. And also seeing both Keith and Becky ski. How remarkable is that? It kind of gives all of us hope that you know, we're going to be happy and active for a long, long time.
Okay, so me and Katina were riding, and Yanis was driving the boat, and it was a pretty fun ride. We were like, you know, don't be too crazy, because, you know, she gets a little crazy. But we were riding, and we were turned around, and she guns it, and we just flip back over, and we both fall. And I was kind of running through the water, and I saw my life flash before my eyes, but it was all right. I thought it was a near-death experience, but I'm okay. I recovered. A little bruised, but it's fine.
Okay, probably the most memorable moment to me is last night at the ping pong tournament. That was just hilarious, watching people, old, young, everybody getting into it, playing ping pong, watching my mom laugh as she played ping pong, because those are good memories, and that is probably just the best moment for me, or the best moments put together.
The first thing that pops in my head is how neat it was when the 3 graduates were sitting at the end of the table with the flags around their necks, and everybody was cheering, and there was the music being played that was the fight song, and it was just a really cool moment.
Tubing for a long time. And the funnest thing is, like, where we shall never deny a guest, even with the most unreasonable request. So it was fun going all the way around Lake Keowee and east of Lake Keowee. That was the most fun part. I think I'm the world champion and the universe champion.
Well, the first thing I could think of was when me and Blair were tubing, and we got thrown off by Jan. And when we tried to get back on the tube, Blair got on the tube, and I was like, okay, I'll try to get on. And I tried to get on, and then I fell off, and we both flipped again. So we had to get the tube flipped over, and that took like 15 minutes. And then we tried to get back on the tube, and she's like, no, let me just reel you in. And we're like, no, we can do this ourselves. It was really funny.
The most memorable thing that's happened this week for me, I don't know. It was good to see pretty much everyone who tried to get up on skis, younger kids. Like, that's like that's a really big thing. So it was fun to like be a part of that. And then being, you know, graduating, obviously the party, that was awesome, and it meant a lot. So those 2 things were probably the biggest for me.
Probably my in-depth, wonderful World War II conversation with Papa Doug. That was my absolute favorite moment since I've been here. I learned a great deal from Professor Corville. That's my favorite.
Well, I'll try to keep it as PG as possible, but the most memorable moment up to this point is probably William, just in general. Just William is memorable. He has loosened up quite a bit, and he has conquered the skis like nobody's business, and he hasn't given up. But he has loosened up quite a bit, which is good to see.
It would be the ping pong tournament, because it was so fun, and I laughed more than I have in years, and I enjoyed watching people play. And I didn't have a favorite of anyone, you know, whoever won, that was great. But I enjoyed seeing the way people played, and when they had a good shot, how everybody cheered, and when something didn't go wrong, we all said, oh, you know. But it was fun. I enjoyed that probably, and will remember that the most.
I'm gonna nominate all of the, I'm gonna nominate probably all of the women in this house, because they've been helping out like around everything, and they haven't they've all been doing everything around the house, making the food, and so yeah, I think I nominate them for the week.
John and Ben do such a miraculous job of remembering what we were and did and had fun, and here we are doing something extraordinary.
I have 2 MVPs for this week. Keith Meir, 75 years old, skiing, jumping off the rocks over there that were 40 feet high. It was awesome. And my niece Samantha, because she got up numerous times slalom skiing and got up on one ski. They're my MVPs.
I'd say Aunt Jenny. I mean, you know, she went hard on the skis, all that kind of stuff, took a tumble, but I feel like she orchestrates a lot of the meals, which, you know, is always delicious. So I'd nominate Aunt Jenny.
MVP, many groups, so I'll go through them. First group of MVPs is Doug and Linda and Grandma Beach. I've heard others say it, and it's absolutely the truth. Without them, none of this would have happened. Next group of MVPs has to be John, Jen, Ben, Hillary, and Amy, because that's second team. We've got our first team, but we've also got a second team. Without them, this wouldn't happen. So they're MVPs. Final group of MVPs are obviously all of the kids. Greatest group of kids I've ever met. They're all, I've said this before, but they're all respectful, they're all bright, they're funny, and just great to be around. They're just wonderful kids.
I nominate for MVP myself. No, I'm totally joking. I nominate Keith, 75 years old, kicked a ski off, was slaloming, jumped off a 30-foot rock. I mean, it's pretty intense. I mean, myself, because I'm the greatest. I mean, there's just nothing to that. Everyone knows that. So, love you, family.
I nominate myself for MVP because I've slept a lot and ate a lot of donuts, which are the only 2 important things in life.
You know what, I'd have to say Becky Meir, who is 61, got up on skis, and she is the MVP because she has to put up with her husband Keith. That's no small task.
Okay, I think I have 3 MVP nominations. I nominate myself just because I'm awesome, and then that's just one. And then I nominate Alex Corville also because he's the best out there. He's having the most fun. He's tubing, he's going crazy, all that stuff. And then I also nominate Brock because he's really cool. He's out there, he's driving the boat all day, every day, and he's just so much fun to be around.
Well, my personal MVP is obviously myself, but I would have to say I'll have 2. I'm gonna have 2. One is Benjamin, because I feel bad for the guy because, you know, he falls asleep on the couch every night, and it's probably the first time he's hearing this, but last night Jan, you know, gave him a little pushed him off onto some cushions, and then Blake had the grand idea to go fart on his face. So, I mean, hanging in there. And then the other one's Grandma Linda. Do you see her in that kitchen? That etouffee? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Yeah, MVPs other than myself.
I think I nominate myself because I'm really tan. It's probably just, I mean, that's enough reason right there. It's just because I'm perfectly tan. If I do say so myself. I kind of have to categorize the MVPs. I'm going to go with conversational MVP would be Papa Doug. I'm going to say best laugh MVP is Grandma Linda. I'm going to say, best boat driver extraordinaire, entertainment to all MVP would be Brock. Yes. And then, you know, I think just overall MVP is a great group of kids that know how to have a good time together and enjoy each other's company. That's what I would say.
MVP of the week, I couldn't choose one. There are so many. With 11 kids here, now only 11. There's too many memorable moments to choose one out of that. So I'd have to say that I couldn't choose one.
All right, outside of Jesus Christ, it would probably have to be, I don't know. I think Brock. Brock was definitely a great addition to the family vacation. Awesome. Definitely wouldn't have been the same without Brock. And also Keith. Definitely. I definitely, when I'm 75, I want to be just like Keith Muir. So those two people, and of course Jesus Christ, like I said at the beginning. So yeah, those are my MVPs, plural.
For MVP of the trip, I would nominate Alex Corville. He just goes with the flow. He enjoys it all to the fullest every day, probably as much as anybody or more than anybody. And it's just so fun to watch him here because he has so much fun tubing and ping pong and whatever we're doing. He has a great time and he's just fun to watch.
Probably Grace, just because she tried to talk you, Brock, into doing a lot of things on the tube. And also you, because you're just like, okay, and then you just throw her out of the way. And you're like, if you ask for something, I'm going to do the opposite. And then you went all crazy. I think that's really funny.
I nominate Blair because she's a good tuber and very willing. And she's very smart and very nice.
MVP has to go to the grandparents. Just because without them, none of this would be happening. They have all created, Linda, Doug, Mom, have all created this family that everyone loves each other so much that we do this and it works and it's a great time.
My nomination for MVP is William because he has loosened up quite a bit this week. Got up on the skis, didn't give up, and has had a great time.
Wow, that's a hard question because there were so many people that made this possible and everybody had their own way of doing it. So I think that I would nominate the group of people that are here because everyone seemed to bring something to the party. We had the organizers, we had the entertainers, we had the people who could do certain things like drive the boat, try to see that all the kids could ski if they wanted to. We had the people who made dinners. And so I would say everyone. Everyone was an MVP.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.